Well, Brett here chatting with Ryan Hansen about Night
Yeah,
Court. Oh yeah. We're
let's
gonna
go.
we're gonna party down in this interview. No pun intended.
Hey.
Heyo. Thanks for your time. It's so fun to see you in this show. I appreciate hanging out today.
Oh, dude, thanks for having me. I'm so happy to get to talk about the show because it's so fun.
Yeah, so you play Jake, Abby's partner, boyfriend. Also, you have a secret. We won't spoil it, although this will premiere here in a day or two. But it's really fun to see you in this role. This just has to be, fun for you to play this character. It's just so fun to watch.
Yeah, originally I think season two I came on as they're like just come on and do one. I'm like great. I'll hang out with Melissa and John and then it had such a blast and connected so well with Melissa and they're like come on back for more. I'm like absolutely. This was a blast. So it's so fun to keep going. Like this is great. Yeah, I love it.
So, what was the initial conversation like when when you first were approached? Did you know that you would be playing that particular character, her love interest, or was it just kind of like we have this idea? How did that conversation happen? I feel like it fits so well. Like the chemistry is really there for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was like maybe a one-off, maybe two. They're like maybe two episodes. I think maybe it was one. I forget, but it was definitely a potential love interest. At least they wanted to like make it look like that. And if we didn't have chemistry, they'd be like, "All right, you're out." Turns out we are pretty good together. So they kept it going, which I was like happy to do because multicam live audience is one of the most fun things to do and I don't get to do it that often. So to get to do a few of these has been a dream. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're working with phenomenal cast as well that you mentioned early on, just a couple of minutes ago. Um, Having watched the show and then getting to be a part of it, is it just surreal to come onto that set and see those iconic characters there? I remember the original, but this new boot is just so good too, and the stories that they're telling are just so smart. It's a fun show to watch for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely grew up knowing Night Court. My parents watched it. I would kind of peek in and watch a little bit. Um, so being on that set, knowing what it was and having, working with John, who has won 4 Emmys for this show, he's a legend. So to get to see him on his set that he used to do all those years ago is it was so cool. And Melissa is just such a pro from Big Bang and all that stuff. So getting to work with those guys on this show is incredible. And I just get to watch them and learn, and then I get to kind of do my thing too. And I'm always nervous in front of the audience until you get out there. And then you realize that the audience is so behind you and stuff, and you're like, "Oh yeah, yeah, this is fun." You can mess up and they still laugh and they love it. So it's a blast.
Yeah, multicam is an interesting thing, hearing actors like yourself who have done film and other series, but then they get to go and be in front of an audience. Does it just add that extra layer of excitement when you know that you're going to be out there and hitting these jokes and as you said, even though you might mess up or somebody might mess up, people still laugh. So that just has to bring the energy up more, I would imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely like it's way more nerve-wracking for some reason. Well, not for some reason, because there's a live audience. So obviously it's more nerve-wracking and I just don't do it enough to like to be so used to it to kind of just go out there and do my thing. So it always takes me a scene or two to or a take or two to get into it. Um but it's the energy is unreal, and the audience really is so excited to be there and they're so excited to see the show that it really amps up everything because we pre-shoot on Thursdays and the energy's still there, but it's a different vibe. So to get to do the live stuff is so fun. Yeah.
I got to see an episode filmed of Last Man Standing when that show was still on. If anybody has never been to a live taping, it is something different. Like you would never imagine because you have the pre-tape stuff, so you're getting pieces that aren't there, but then you're getting the other stuff and you're being filled in on it too. So it's a wild experience. Having done this now and all the other projects for you, Ryan, like what's important to you as an actor and storyteller, like when you're looking to do something or approach to something? Is it cast? Is it writing? Is obviously a big one. Is it directors, producers? Like, what do you look for as an artist when you're going in for a job?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely look for something that I feel like I could thrive and I could add something to the character. That's kind of the first thing. And then the next thing is like, well, who else is a part of it and who's kind of created it and who's all that stuff. Um, I've been doing this for so long, but I don't get to like really be that picky as far as like I'm gonna work with this director or so that's you just get lucky when you get on a cool show like this and you're like, oh, everyone's a pro, everyone's awesome, the show's so dialed. So you get lucky, and then sometimes you got to do some stinkers, whatever. It's kind of the gig. But and then real quick, Last Man Standing. You went to a taping of that?
I did, yes.
My wife is a hairstylist, and she did all of the seasons of Last Man Standing, and she's doing Tim's new show called
Shifting gears, switching
Shifting
gears.
Gears. Anyway,
That's very cool. Yeah,
yeah.
we
So she's in the biz too, so she gets it, which is very
so
fun.
that has to be fun though that you're both in this industry, so you both get it, right? Like so and so has to leave for several hours at a time to go do something. But I
Yeah.
would imagine, that makes it fun too, because then you can talk about things. Do you run lines with her and things like that? Or is she just like, I want to do hair and makeup and that sort of stuff, and you can keep the acting to yourself?
No, she's so good about running lines with me, and she knows that I kind of need to do that. I like to know my stuff a little bit like the night before, type of thing at least. But with the multicam, a lot of times you get the new pages like at midnight, and then the next day you're shooting, so you don't get them till the morning, which is very tough for because the pages switch so much in a multicam. But she's very cool about running lines with me, and my kids are getting old enough. I'll run lines with my daughters now sometimes if the stuff's appropriate.
Have they
So
seen Party Down at all, just as a one-off question there, or are they is
my
they
daughters, no, they have not seen Party Down. No, they
you're like,
haven't. Not yet.
no.
They could probably watch some of it, but most of it's pretty raunchy.
Well, that was another fun show too that you were in, where you had so many different guest stars that would come up, and as the show gained popularity, more and more people would come in. Do they have any interest in what you do, like this night court? Is it fun for them, or are you just dad and that's really kind of where everything stops?
It's a little mix of both. Like it's just kind of normal for them, which is weird for me because it's such a huge deal, growing up not in Hollywood, to go to a lot or a set or whatever. Like it's so cool. For them, it's a little more normal, which is annoying. I'm like, no, this is really cool. I mean, they think it's cool, but also, a lot of our friends are actors and stuff, and it's just kind of like, oh yeah, there's whoever on a billboard. Like that's not normal where growing up from where I came from. For them, it's a little normalized, which is weird. But they still think it's fun and all because in my middle one, she's the most into it. She thinks it's the most cool.
Yeah, I think it would be fun to go on to. I mean, there's craft services and catering, which is
That's their
sort of,
favorite. Yes.
yeah, of course, that's everybody's favorite. Well, this is so much fun. Again, it's so cool to see you on this show amongst other people that have popped in and popped out without really spoiling anything. Obviously, this episode will air in a couple days when the series comes, when your episodes come up. But what can we kind of expect from Jake this season? I've watched the first couple episodes, so I already know. But what can we see? What can fans expect from him this time around? Because it's really
Yeah,
fun.
it's really fun. They have a lot of fun with Jake and Abby's relationship this season. We get to do a lot of weird, fun, athletic, dancing. There's a lot of really fun stuff we get to do. So I'm very excited for people to see it. Um, and it's very funny, and then it gets a little emotional at times, and there's ups and downs, and then there's wacky stuff. I'll say it: cheerleading, dance. There's fixing chairs, all the things. Yeah.
Pretty sweet backflips, by the way, I have to say.
I had to throw that in there because I don't know when my last one's going to be. So,
I know. I just turned 50, so doing a lot of things is very difficult at this stage of the game, especially with a
yeah.
10-year-old. So it's
Oh,
not,
yeah.
the body is not what it once was. Well,
Right, you also don't look
congratulations.
50. You don't look 50.
Well,
You
I
look great.
appreciate that. That's very kind. He keeps me young. Um,
That's
As a
for sure.
parent, you get it. Thank you for your
Oh, yeah.
time. Congratulations. This is a huge honor to have chatted with you. I can't wait for people to see it. Um, you're the best. I appreciate your time, Ryan. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Brett. You're awesome, dude. I'll see you again.
Thanks, Brett.
Thank you.